Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeex. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using all of the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. Guys and gals, ladies and lads, welcome to another episode of the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey, and this time it's Pharaonic Guardian time. So we're diving into the first actual proper archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh's history in Gravekeepers. That's gonna be the core thing about this set, but the set actually has quite a bit of other good stuff as well. So as always, timestamps will be in the description if you want to skip over anything or skip ahead. And let's get right into it. I'll try to keep it concise. I think these more concise set breakdowns are better, and then in the deck breakdowns we can actually explain more in detail what we want the cards to do. But right off the bat, Ring of Destruction is both a removal tool as well as a burn tool in this set, and as you will learn as we go along with the set, we're almost I guess I'll cover it here. We're most likely going to see a Gravekeeper's Mirror, since it's just by and far the best thing to play in the set. And in a Gravekeeper Mirror, we are likely to have both of us are likely to have Necro Valley up at some point, and the biggest Gravekeepers with double Necro Valley will get bumped to 3000 defense, which is absolutely insane and will be basically now impossible to beat over with anything. So removal is going to be extremely important in this set. So Ring of Destruction not only works as that, but can also advance the game state. The one whose shape was snatched, although funny, obviously doesn't do much. King Tiger Wong, who is an interesting one as well. Level 4. When a monster with 1400 or less attack is summoned or special summon, normal special summon, destroy those monsters with 1400 or less attack, and then this card must be faced with the field attack to resolve this effect. It's interesting because there will be stuff like Spy that special summon straight from the deck, but because of the wording, if Necro Valley is already on the field, the Spy will actually be bigger and won't be destroyed, so this is something to maybe consider. But we will see. There's also just a bunch of very random stuff. Sasuke Samurai, actually a very interesting card here. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a face-down defense position monster, destroy the face-down monster. This can be used to deal with set spies or guards without getting their flip effects off. Darkness Spirit is a 1-tribute spirit monster that blows up all face monsters on the field when it's normal or flip face up. Interesting as well. Swamp Scarabs and Swamp Locust, these can be once per turn changed to face down defense, especially if they are flip summoned in particular. They flip summoned, they can target a monster and a spell trap respectively and destroy it, but these aren't flip effects, they are only on flip summon, so that's what makes them a little bit awkward. Guardian Sphinx is a tribute that flip returns all monsters your opponent controls to their hand. Pretty good. Permanent Turtle, probably best of the OG recruiters. When it's destroyed by battle lands integrate, you can special summon and zombie monster 2000 or less defense from your deck. And you can special summon it in any position. The traditional attribute recruiters for 1500, and it had to be attack, and it had to also special then in attack position. Dice Jar is a burn, very gimmicky, a burn card. Dark Scorpion Burglars sends a spell from that deck to a graveyard. Not going to do much. Dunzaluk, however, is basically just a better white magical hat. When it inflicts battle damage, your opponent can discard a card or mill 2. Obviously, you're always going for the discard. Book of Life, Book of Tayu, and Book of Moon are very good. 3 very good spell cards. Book of Life targets a zombie monster in your grave and one of any monster in your opponent's grave. Spells the one from your and banishes the opponent. Book of Tayu and Book of Moon are basically like each other's like... I'm missing that word. They're the two sides of the same coin, basically. Book of Tayo flips a face-down monster into face-up attack position, and Book of Moon targets a face-up monster on the field and changes that to face-down defense. Book of Moon definitely the better one, since it can also be used as disruption due to being a quick play. Then Mirage of Nightmare is a very interesting card because, okay, once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you draw cards until you have 4 in your hand, and then during your next standby phase after that, you randomly discard the amount that you drew. So let's say you have 2 cards, you draw 2, then during your standby phase, you're gonna discard 2, and then get your draw phase. In Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously this would be one of the craziest cards ever, since you can not only fuel your graveyard and cycle through your deck, you can also get access to hand traps. But back then you would just use to somewhat filter your hand and just cycle through your deck, so this will be something to maybe consider, since the discards are random, so you can't actually manipulate those. Needle Sealing, a trap when there are 4 more monsters on the field. Destroy all face-up monsters. Unfortunately, face-up. Otherwise, this would be an incredibly good trap, especially in this format when we are likely to not be able to swing over a lot of each other's stuff. So the field is actually likely to get cluttered. But even with the face-up monsters clause, it's maybe gonna be good enough. Trap Dashu, if your opponent has more and more cards in the hand, you can look at your opponent's hand, select a monster in it, and return it back to the deck. Reckless Greed, draw 2 cards and skip your next 2 draw phases. If you manage to get multiple of these, you're getting some insane value because these don't stack. It's just your next 2 draw phase. If you fire off 3 Reckless Greed in one turn, you're just drawing 6, and then your next 2 you don't get to draw in your draw phase. You have some like generic beaters in this set. I don't think they will show up just because Gravekeepers are so good. A new Doria, if it's destroyed by battle and sent to grave, you target a monster in the field and destroy the target. And then we get to the Gravekeepers. So most of these are very good. I will cover the ones that we are probably going to see. I'll just say their effects. You will definitely hear about more of them in the deck breakdown. So Spy on these are all tied to the Necro Valley field spell, which we will talk about a little bit later. So Spy on flip special summons any Gravekeeper monster from your deck that has 1500 or less attack, which covers everything except for the tribute. Gravekeeper's card, also very important. Spy is 2000 defense, guard is 1900 defense, and on flip bounces a monster your opponent controls to their hand. Gravekeeper Chief is their tribute summon. You can only control 1. Your grave is unaffected by Necro Valley, and when it's tribute summoned, you can target a Gravekeeper monster in your grave and special summon that target. And then Gravekeeper's Assailant, when this card declares an attack while Necro Valley is on the field, you can target a offensive monster your opponent controls and change the target's battle position. So pretty good. Mystical Jackal is a 2 tribute monster, level 7 with 2700 attack. When it destroys monster on your opponent's side of the field and sends it to the graveyard, you can then return that card on your top of your opponent's deck instead. It's just a big beater that we will maybe see at one-off, but we'll see, Yomi Ship, if it's destroyed by battle and sent to you destroy the monster that destroyed this card, so a little bit worse. Doria. Catapult Omen is actually very interesting as well. On flip, you choose 1 trap in your deck and place it on top of your deck, or add it to your hand instead if Necro Valley is on the field. Kinda similar to that, All of Luck selects a field spell from your deck and places it on top of your deck, and you get it in your hand instead if Necro Valley is on the field. Much less likely to see play, since Necro Valley is the one field spell we actually scare here, and if you already have it on the field, it's very unlikely that you'll need another one. So, but Cat, definitely a good chance that we will see. Spirit Reaper cannot be destroyed by battle, and after resolving card effect that targets the face-up card, you destroy it, and then when it directly deals battle damage, so you can swing into something with like 200 attack, you discard a card from your opponent's hand. Nightmare Horse probably won't see play, but thanks to a spell that we will cover a little bit later. Reborn the Nightmare is basically, it's a fusion of Spirit Reaper and Nightmare Horse, and it has the Spirit Reaper effect where if you successfully attack your opponent directly, they discard a card from their hand, but it also has the Nightmare Horse effect where it can attack your opponent directly. It's also importantly has the Spirit Reaper thing where can't be destroyed by battle, and if it's targeted, it gets blown up. Reasoning, another very good card. Your opponent declares a monster level from 1 to 12, and you basically excavate until you excavate a monster that can be normal summoned or set. If your opponent called the level correctly, then everything goes to the grave. If they didn't, you special that, and then the rest go to the grave. A very interesting card. I don't know if it'll be good enough to play in this set's context though, because basically everything that we want to be playing I feel like is level 4. But this is something that maybe will find its way into the deck. We will see. A different dimension capsule is the precursor of Gold Sark. It has to remain on the field for it to go off. Necro Valley, what we have talked about a lot, is the field spell where all Gravekeeper's monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense, and then basically it just has a bunch of effects that have to do with not touching the grave. So you cannot banish cards in the grave, you cannot move cards from the grave to anywhere else, so back in the deck, or a special summon then, or get them to your hand. So that's also why Jackal's, I think it was Jackal's Knight, isn't gonna be that great. You can't also change any effects, any types or attributes in the graveyard. Sorry, I'm losing my words today. But yeah, Necro Valley, we will definitely see it play. Let's just say that much. One of the reasons why we'll see it is we also had Terraforming in the set. Very simple, add a field spell from your deck to your hand. And what I was alluding to earlier, Metamorphosis, you tribute one monster and special summon one fusion monster from extract with the same level as the tributed monster. So Gravekeeper's Chief is level 5 as well as Reaper on the Nightmare, so you can use Metamorphosis on Chief after you've tributed for it to already get the Gravekeeper out of your grave, and then it's just sitting there. You can use Metamorphosis to turn it into Reaper on the Nightmares, which is pretty good. Then, so good old Sheriff, you play Gravekeeper. Royal Tribute. If you control a Necro Valley, both players discard any monsters in their hands. One of the craziest first turn blowout cards in the game. So basically, let's say I open Necro Valley, a set monster, 2 back row, and this. I activate Necro Valley, I set my monster, I set my 2 back row, and I fire off my Royal Tribute. And let's say my opponent has 3 monsters in their hand. Now they are starting with 2 cards. This is an incredible blowout card that I'm pretty sure we will definitely see you play. Right Break, probably the best removal in the set, since Ring of Destruction only works on monsters and I think even only face-up monsters. Right Break is just discard a card and then target 1 card on the field, destroy it. It can be either side, it can be back row, it can be anything. A very good trap that I'm assuming both of us will play at 3 copies. Wrath of Spirit is a trap version of a monster reborn for the Gravekeeper archetype. Targets a Gravekeeper monster in your grave and special summon the target. Notable that it's only in your grave. Whoops. I always forget that happens. And importantly, this card's activation is not affected by Necro Valley. So even though Necro Valley says you can't move cards from grave, you can do it with Rite of Spirit. Then the last few cards, Nightmare Will is a continuous trap which basically works as an equip. You target a monster your opponent controls and it cannot attack or change its battle position, and when it leaves the field, this card gets destroyed. And once per turn during your standby phase, your opponent takes 500 burn damage. And the monster that's being targeted with Nightmare has to be on the field to resolve the burn. And finally, Lava Golem, which will be interesting to see if we actually played in the episode. It might actually see some play because, like I said, alluded to earlier, our fields can actually get pretty clogged in this episode, since it's going to be hard to swing over stuff. So sometimes maybe tributing 2 of your opponent's things to give them a Lava Golem may be worth it, but we will see. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Though, this is one of the better like side deck cards, since you have Sphere Mode for if you want to tribute 3, but if people tend to end on 2 monsters in the format, Lava Golem can be used to get rid of those. So you can just special summon. It's basically normal because it's a special summon, but you cannot normal on the turn that you special this, so it basically expense your normal summon anyway. You tribute 2 monsters, instead give them this, and then during your standby phase, you take 1,000. That's for the controller of Lava Golem, so essentially that's for your opponent. But yeah, sorry, this ran really long, this breakdown. There are a lot of good cards in this set, and the Gravekeepers are great, so there's just a lot to talk about. I apologize for that. But that'll do it for the set breakdown, and let's get deck building, and let's see what me and Jeex can come up with for the episode. So I will see you all in the deck building section.
So, first things first, I spent a lot of time thinking about Pharaonic Guardian. Mostly thinking about it with an angle of, I want to do a 60 card deck maybe. Mostly because of the fact that I thought Mirage Nightmare would be really good in this deck. And that Mirage Nightmare will allow me to speedrun through my deck using cards like Mirage Nightmare, Necro Valley, Reasoning, Reckless Greed, so on and so forth. And also using cards like Gravekeeper Spy, Cat of Ill Omen, and Pyramid Turtle to better than like search my deck for cards that are important, that aren't easily fetchable through other means. And I ended up not going... no, not quite right. I ended up not going all in on this. Like, I stopped around like 50 cards, I mean. Like, I started putting in cards because like, I don't know what I want to put in. I just completely lost sight of what I want to do. So I don't think I'm going to play with this deck. I think I'm going to either play with the Pharaonic Guardian 2 that I have here, which is a far more interesting deck list because it's something that we're going to get down to in a bit. So, Cat of Ill Omen. Cat of Ill Omen is a really good tutor in this set specifically. I wouldn't say that you should play this in any other format ever, but in this case, it's really powerful because it lets you fetch cards like Trap Dust Shoot, Ring of Destruction, Rite of Spirit, Reckless Greed, and Raigeki Break. All of these cards are really strong for what this set is like. Trap Dust Shoot is a card that just allows you to deal with stuff like Gravekeeper's Assailant from the hand, Gravekeeper's Chief, Gravekeeper's Guard, and other similar threats that you might not want to ever hit the board. And then Cat of Ill Omen allows you to search for all of these as long as you have a Necro Valley on the field, which is gonna happen. Now, I'm gonna have to point attention to the way this is worded. Choose one trap card from your deck, place it on top of your deck if you don't have a Necro Valley, or if Necro Valley is on the field, you can add that trap card to your hand instead. That's important. Then you have Gravekeeper's Assailant. Gravekeeper's Assailant is the 1.5k beater in this. Like, there are cards that are like objectively stronger. Like, this is just a bigger wall. This is just a bigger wall. He's just a better beat stick. But this guy is the easiest to get access to, and he has a useful effect that you can possibly use to deal with, for example, Gravekeeper Spy. So Gravekeeper's Assailant has the effect of, when this card declares an attack, while Necro Valley is on the field, you can target one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field and change that target's battle position. Now, that's really good against Gravekeeper Spy, Gravekeeper's Guard, Gravekeeper's Chief, and so on and so forth, and even Spirit Reaper to a degree, and Pyramid Turtle, and Nudoria. Well, not Nudoria quite, because you're never going to want to run into it. But yeah. It allows you to run over threats that you could possibly not run over through any other means. That's why we're playing 3 of it. That's important. Also, the reason why we're playing 2 of Cat of Ill Omen, because I want to draw it, but I don't want to break on it. I don't want to draw 2 of them, ever. Gravekeeper's Guard. We skipped over Gravekeeper's Chief. Gravekeeper's Chief is the quote-unquote boss monster for Gravekeepers. He has the ability of, your graveyard is unaffected by the Necro Valley. You can only have one of them in the field, so it's basically a legendary creature. And when this card is tribute summoned, you can target one Gravekeeper's monster in graveyard and special summon that target. I think he can be a really big threat if you can go off of like Gravekeeper Spy into Gravekeeper's Assailant into Gravekeeper's Chief, special summon another Gravekeeper. You can swarm really well with this deck, I feel. And then we have Gravekeeper's Guard, and important note, he's the biggest beater in this with Necro Valley on the field, so he's important for that. Gravekeeper's Guard, flip monster, target one face monster, one monster opponent controls, and turn the target to the hand. Now, this card is really good. It's not as versatile as something like Penguin Soldier is, but it's still good for stalling, and it can be really powerful if you play your cards right. Gravekeeper Spy, flip effect. If you flip this monster face up, special summon one Gravekeeper's monster from your deck with 1,500 attack or less. Where is it? That's really important for swarming overall, and I think we'll see more. The card that we'll see the most of is probably gonna be Gravekeeper Spy. In this entire series, I just had my thoughts like completely scrambled one on there. Nudorian. I think this card is gonna be really important. I'm not sure, like, if we'll see it in 2 or 3 games, but if we played more than 3 games, this card would end up being really scary. It has the effect of if this card is destroyed by balance in the graveyard, target one monster on the field and destroy that target. This basically outs everything in this set. If you run into Nudoria, you just lost your beat stick, you just lost your defensive wall, you know, so on and so forth. And it also has the added benefit of you can actually decide if you want to ram it into like Gravekeeper's Assailant to kill Gravekeeper's Assailant or some other solution to that. I think this card's really good. Pyramid Turtle. Pyramid Turtle is in here simply to summon itself and Spirit Reaper. And the reason why these two are here is because this thing is a defensive wall, even though it only has 200 defense, but we'll talk about that once we get to it. Pyramid Turtle has the effect of when this card is balanced at the graveyard, you can special summon one zombie monster with your with 2,000 or less defense from your deck. This card is arguably the best tutor, like a type tutor card in the game. But the problem is that when this card is destroyed by battle effect, this card allows you to special summon almost any zombie monster, because zombies have notoriously low defenses, you know? And that kind of makes sense, because like zombies having 0 defense is a key thing in the anime and so on and so forth. But then we have Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper has the effect of cannot be destroyed by battle. After resolving a card effect that targets this face-up card, destroy this card. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, discard one random card from their hand. I think this card could be really powerful if you just somehow start like winning out on board, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Book of Moon. Book of Moon is a legendary card. Like, no fucking joke. This card is legendary, just like compulsory evacuation devices. This card says target one face-up monster in the field, change that target to face-down defense position. I think this card is gonna see a lot of play in this set. Like, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. We're gonna see 3 copies of this pop at least once every game. Then hey, Mirage or Nightmare, the de facto card from this set, arguably. Mirage Nightmare says, once per turn, during your opponent's standby phase, draw cards until you have 4 in your hand. If you do, during your next standby phase, after that, randomly discard the same number of cards you drew, or your entire hand if you don't have enough cards. I think that effect that's one of the strongest effects in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. But it's not very useful in this format. I'm not entirely sure how this will go, but I think this card will allow me to speed through my deck in a way where it will still be beneficial. Now we get to Necro Valley. So Necro Valley is the de facto card for this set as well. Like, it's important. You're gonna play Necro Valley, right? So what I'm doing here with playing 1 copy of Necro Valley and 2 copies of Terraforming, even though I have cards in the deck that say you need Necro Valley on your side of the field, right? After a lot of deliberating, I realized that, oh, wait. If Necro Valley is on the field, wait a sec. Oh my, I can cut out so many Necro Valleys. I can cut out so many Terraformings. And, sorry, I had to cough. And I ended up cutting two Necro Valleys and 1 Terraforming. Because I know Weebfox is going to play 3. I know he's going to play 3 and 3, right? It doesn't make sense not to play that. I know this is kind of rude in this. This is a hard read. He's going to play 3 of each, so I'm going to have to only play 1. Okay? And I think that'll work to my benefit, because deck space is kind of tight in this set. Like, it's genuinely kind of an issue fitting in all the good stuff that you might need to deal with a lot of, like, big monsters. And while it's also relatively hard to actually like pinpoint get cards that you want. Because Mirage Your Nightmare, well, it's a really good card. And while you have cards like Gravekeeper Spy and Cat of Omen that will search out the cards you might actually want, you can't tutor for Book of Moons, Mirage Your Nightmares, or, well, most of your monsters, other than like, oh yeah, most of your monsters because you only have like 6 or 9 Gravekeepers. But yeah, I think this will be really key in drawing more of the removal pieces, like Ring of Destruction, Raigeki Break, and more of the recovery pieces like Rite of Spirit, and more of the aggressive play lines like Reckless Greed. And Trap Dash Shoot is also just kind of there. So now we have Raigeki Break. Raigeki Break is the de facto removal in this, alongside this. Like these two cards are the best ways of removal in this. Now this is the only way we can remove Necro Valley, which is also important. It's also the only way we can remove Mirage or Nightmare if that becomes a problem somehow. And it just simply discard one card and then target one card on the field and destroy it. Oh yeah, I didn't say what Necro Valley does. Necro Valley gives 500 attack to all Gravekeepers on the field. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished. Negate any card that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. Negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. And, this card is the most erotic card in the entire game. And like its effect has actually changed over the years. It's kind of crazy. Sorry, I coughed. Again. Now, then we have Reckless Greed. Reckless Greed is you draw 2 and you skip draw phase 2 times. That's good. That card's good. It's a really aggressive play, but with stuff like Mirage or Nightmare, you can maybe get some insane turns going. Then you have Ring of Destruction. Ring of Destruction is target one monster on the field, on your opponent's on the field, who has attack less than equal to their life points. You destroy it, and then we both take attack equal to its original attack. Yeah. And that's really big. That's a really good card for removal, because it means, oh, it's only the original attack. Oh, wait, that's a problem then. Never mind then. That's not as good as I was thinking. Old Ring of Destruction used to just be destroy one monster in the field. Both players take damage equal to its attack. That was crazy. Then we have Rite of Spirit. Rite of Spirit is target one Gravekeeper's monster in graveyard. Special summon that target. This card's activation effect are unaffected by Necro Valley. That card's good too. That card's really important for this set. Then Trap Dust Shoot. I think this card is like interesting. I don't know if it's gonna play any part in this, but I think if you unban this card nowadays, it wouldn't be that important. It would make your opponent go and start a turn with -1 card in hand, but Omega already does that, and it's arguably harder to interact with Omega than this. So you activate only if your opponent has 4 or more cards in their hand. Look at the opponent's hand, select one monster in it, and return that card to its owner's deck. So yeah, I think this card is worse than Omega. And that's all there is to it. Dark the Spirit. This is a spirit monster. The first spirit monster I think we played in this whole series. Basically, when you tribute summon it, you destroy all face-up monsters on the field. All except itself. It's really good. King Tiger Wang. Now this card is interesting. It has 1.7k attack, which makes it a decent beater. When a monster with 1,400 less attack is normal summoned or special summoned, destroy those monsters with 1,400 or less attack. That card's really good. If you can somehow get this out on the field as a disruption, like you can get it in this. But like, let's say your opponent is about to use Soul Charge, you summon this guy, and your opponent can no longer special summon like all the monsters that have 1,400 or less attack. That's really good. Sasuke Samurai. This card is kind of a tick, mostly because the fact that we have a lot of cards that want to be set face down, like Gravekeeper Spy, Cat of Omen, New Doria, Pyramid Turtle, and Guard. Like, that's a lot of cards in this set that want to be set face down, and even Spirit Reaper to a degree. So Sasuke Samurai has the effect of at the start of the damage step. If this card attacks a face down defensive position monster, destroy that face down defensive position monster. It's really good. It deals with New Doria, it deals with Pyramid Turtle, it deals with Philip effects, so it just outright outs a lot of big threats. Third copy Spirit Reaper, because if I need another wall, it's really good. Then Reasoning. So Reasoning is a really good card in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it just outright says, your opponent says a number between 1 and 12, and then you reveal from your deck cards until you hit a card that you can normal summon or set. And if that card has the same level as the number that they declared, you send it to the graveyard along with the rest of the cards. But if it doesn't have the same level as the declared number, then you special summon. This card is really good. It's one of the, like, arguably best cards in the game. It's a cascade effect of sorts. Then you have Coffin Seller, which I think should be a good way to de-incentivize stuff like Mirage or Nightmare, Reasoning, or other similar effects. Rite of Spirit, a third copy of it is really good. I might need to go for a third copy in my deck if I feel like the games are going long and I need more recovery. And a third copy of Trap Destroyed if this ends up going to a situation where I feel like the game needs to be kind of controlled a little more, I guess. And if he starts playing, if Weebfox is playing a lot of Mirage Nightmare, if he's playing 3 copies of it or something, I can use Trap Dust Shoot to make him discard down to 0 every turn, or almost every turn. But yeah, this is the one that I made last. This is for the most part same, except I removed the zombie package, which is kind of important. Like, it's not really relevant, I feel. I think you can change it up for more stuff like Nightmare Wheel or even Royal Tribute, which is what I did here. I also don't think I changed. Yeah, I only took out a Rite of Spirit and put in a Nightmare Wheel, and I put in a third copy of Terraforming, and I put in Royal Tribute. Now, this card is the crown jewel of Gravekeepers. If you control a Necro Valley, now that's important. If you control a Necro Valley. See, that's why I was originally thinking all of these required Necro Valley on your side of the field. But apparently it's only if this is the only card. So Royal Tribute is, if you control Necro Valley, both players discard any monsters in their hands. That's not fun. But that's why we're playing it. That's why we're playing 2 of it. And the sole idea is that we don't want to draw it too often, but we want to draw it enough times for it to matter. If we draw it in like game 1 or 2, on turn 1, we win. Pretty much. And then Nightmare Wheel. I think this card is actually better than Raigeki Break or Ring of Destruction or even Book of Moon. I think this card is really good. So Nightmare Wheel has the effect of activate this card by targeting one monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack or change its battle position. When it leaves the field, destroy this card. Once per turn, during your standby phase, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. That monster must be on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. I think this card is gonna be really valuable, and that's the main reason why I put it in here. I still haven't decided on which of these decks I'm gonna play. But I feel like out of all the ones that I have here, this seems like it would be the most solid, which is why I have it as default. I think this will be the one that I will play with, but we'll see. I'm really interested to see how our decks end up differing. So, because this is the first time we've had like actual archetypes in the game, and that just changes the way that you build a deck in this kind of format. You know? So I think it'll be interesting. We both might have the exact same deck, or we both might have been like, we don't really need 2 copies of this card or 3 copies of this card. We don't need this card at all. We don't need Necro Valleys. Like I was talking about the thing with Necro Valley, it also like changes stuff like Necro Valley changes how you start thinking about like, oh, if this card is on the field, I get to do these things. For example, let's say, I don't think there's a good analogy in any other game, but like knowing the fact that your opponent is going to have to facilitate your game plan if they want to facilitate their game plan is interesting. I like that. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Good luck.
Guys and gals, welcome back. And yep, you're seeing it right. For the first time, we are playing a 60 card deck. Now, this might bite me in the butt, but I do have an explanation for this that's kind of twofold. First and foremost is what I already alluded to in the set breakdown, which is this set will most likely be very, very slow, since stuff like Spy and Guard sitting in defense with 1 or 2 Necro Valleys on the field will be basically unoutable by anything that isn't a removal spell. So it'll be really hard to actually get some damage in, apart from burn damage with stuff like Ring that also gets rid of those cards. And secondly, I just had an insanely hard time deciding what do I actually want to play. So I figured, let's give it a shot. This will probably take a little bit longer than usual since we are playing 60 cards, so I'll try to go as fast as possible. So let's start off with our Gravekeepers package. We're playing 3 of Chief, 3 of Assailant, 3 of Guard, and 3 of Spy. Spy on flip specials a Gravekeeper monster with 15 or less attack from your deck that will most of the time be another spy or an assailant. Guard on flip returns a monster your opponent controls to the hand. Assailant on attack, if Necro Valley is on the field, can change the battle position of an opponent's monster. And a Gravekeeper's Chief basically says that your graveyard is unaffected by Necro Valley, and when it's tribute summoned, you can special summon a Gravekeeper monster from your grave. Additionally, we have 3 Cats of Ill Omen, which on flip choose a trap and place it on top of your deck, but if a Necro Valley is on the field, you instead get it back to your hand. And this is here because we have a lot of good traps, namely our removal, our 3 Raigeki Break that discards a card and then targets card on the field and destroys it, and Ring of Destruction, which targets a face monster your opponent controls during their turn, and its attack has to be less than or equal to their LP. You destroy it, you take damage to its attack, and then your opponent takes damage equal to its attack. So these are all like ways of outing stuff. Ring of Destruction also deals damage as well. We also have 3 Reckless Greed, draw 2 cards, and skip your next 2 draw phases. So if we already have one of these, we don't need necessarily any of these. We have a cat, we can just get another Reckless Greed, so we can fire off 2. And that way we can get 4 cards for the cost of only 2 draw phases. Also 3 Needle Sealing, even though it's face-up monsters, I feel like I've already said, like the field is bound to get cloggy in this episode, and outing stuff will be hard, so I feel like we can actually meet this condition relatively well. And then just 1 Rite of Spirit, we're running another one in the side deck, which targets a Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard and special summon this target, and the activation and effect are unaffected by Necro Valley, which normally prevents cards in the graveyard from being moved elsewhere. Obviously, we are playing 3 Necro Valley since we are playing the big Gravekeeper package, as well as 3 Terraforming to get to those Necro Valleys as soon as possible. Then, pretty interestingly, since we are ourselves playing Gravekeepers, we are also playing 3 King Tiger Wang Hu, which when a monster is summoned that has 1400 or less attack, it gets destroyed as long as it still has that 1400 or less attack, and this card remains on the field. This is a weird inclusion, I guess, since we are ourselves playing Gravekeeper, but I feel like this is very good in a position where we actually already established a pretty powerful field, and we suspect like Jeex has maybe a spy set, we can summon this and then swing into the spy with something, and he doesn't get the effect of, or I mean he does get the effect of, since it's mandatory, but then the spy gets destroyed if there's no Necro Valley. But this is something that I wanted to try. I might side out of it for games 2 and 3 if I feel like it doesn't perform, but I wanted to give it a shot. Then we're playing 3 Sasuke Samurai, pretty self-explanatory since we have a lot of powerful stuff that we want to be setting, like Spy, Guard, even Cat, even New Doria I feel like is something that Jeex might play, Yomi Ship maybe, depend, because the thing is, like, the set has so many good cards, unless he's playing 60 cards as well, it'll be hard to justify some of these slots, so I still feel like Sasuke Samurai is very good, because I would be surprised at the very least if he's not playing 3 Guard and 3 Spy. Then next we have 3 Spirit Reaper. This is just basically another wall that can't really be outed by anything than removal. I mean, hell, it can be outed by anything than targeting, because it's battle destruction immune. So if it inflicts battle damage on your opponent by a direct attack, they also discard a card, which probably won't happen since this is going to be, like I said, a pretty defensive set. And then finally we have 3 New Doria. If it's destroyed by battle disintegrate, targets any monster on the field and destroys that target, and the Yomi Ship, which is the poor man's version of that, which destroys the monster that destroyed this card. We have a pretty nice 30-30 ratio of monsters and spell traps, and stuff that we already haven't covered in the spell trap section is we have 3 Book of Moon. This is just a way if Jeex is swinging into us with something that we don't want getting the swing off, we can use Book to set it. We can also use Book on our own monsters if we have like push for damage with something like Guard or Spy in attack. So we can just use Book to set them back down and then also reuse their flip effects. Then we have 2 Book of Tayo, which flips a face down monster on the field into face up attack position. This is sort of the reverse. If we actually need to deal with something like Guard or Spy, this does proc the flip effects, but this forces them into attack position, which means that we can actually then swing over them with some of our stuff like Assailant. And the problem with Assailant's effect is it only targets face-up monsters with its battle position change, so you can't force a spy into attack position when you're swinging into it if it's set. So this is just a way of actually getting damage in. Then we're playing 3 Royal Tribute. This is just an insanely powerful blowout card if you're going first, or even if like later along the line if we still have a decent amount of cards in hand, like we can blow Jeex out with this. Metamorphosis I already talked about pretty extensively in the set breakdown as well. This is used to get into Reaper on the Nightmare from Gravekeeper's Chief after we have summoned Gravekeeper's Chief and already got the effect off. I already covered my traps, so let's go into the side deck next. I'm playing a 3rd copy of Tayo there, just because why not? Darkness Spirit is there if we need additional field wipes. If we feel like their field is getting clogged and we're like getting pushed back, if we have something like Spy sitting in defense, but he has maybe like 3 monsters and some of those are set, maybe multiple of those are set, we can't actually deal with them with needle sealing. So this is under, oh, it's face-up monsters. And never mind. So this basically is just a summonable needle sealing. I completely overlooked that. That's my bad. Okay, Darkness Spirit exists. Yeah. Then I'm running one of Swarm of Locusts and Swarm of Scarabs. In hindsight, I probably should have Darkness Spirit be another Locusts, or actually even, I think it's Scarabs actually. Yeah, but I'm not gonna change that now. It's one card that probably won't make a difference. It's just on flip summon, can pop a monster or a spell trap respectively. Unfortunately not on flip, it's only on flip summon, but they do have a way of changing themselves back to face down defense position. So that's pretty nice. They are reusable. It's still like they're very small, so it's easy to beat over them, but still something that I figured if we need more punching power, or sorry, more removal, we can go for those. 2 Lava Golem. This is also here in case like Jeex manages to summon like a million things and we need to get rid of some of them, and we maybe have like a Raigeki Breaker or something, and maybe there are 2 Necro Valleys or something. He has like a guard and a spy, or even like Assailant and something. We can just distribute those 2 away for a Golem, and then we can pop the Golem to effectively still use 2 cards, but in that case use Lava Golem as like an extra removal tool. Then 3 Mirage of Nightmare. I'm playing it in the side deck because like we've talked about beforehand about this, and like Jeex has really hyped this card up, like it's so insane. But so I'm really expecting him to definitely play it, but I'm not convinced because we don't really have any way of using this card during your opponent's turn. And then there are so many powerful cards in the set as well. Like if you get rid of some of your like, if let's say you discard like 2 of your Raigeki breaks with this, you're like screwed. It's gonna be really hard then to get rid of stuff. So this can get rid of your important tools as well. It can be argued that it can be used as hand filtering, so you don't have to obviously discard everything. You don't have to use everything. It's like you can up your own odds, but I still feel like I'm not convinced. So I figured Jeex is probably gonna play it, and that's why it's in my side. So if it really impresses me, then I'll side into it games 2 and 3. Sorry, but for now I just want to first see how it performs. Another thing, by the way, why I'm playing 60 cards with just basically all the removal that I can is also Mirage of Nightmare, because I feel like Jeex will be playing this for sure, maybe playing Reasoning as well, so you can turbo through your deck really fast. And I know I said it like in like episode 3, I think, where it definitely didn't matter. I think the Milling Wing Con might actually be up for grabs this episode for us, so that's why we're also playing 60 cards. Reasoning, I'm only playing 2 in the side, because like I said, almost everything that we have is a level 4, so your opponent declares a level from 1 to 12, and you excavate cards until you excavate a monster that can be normal summoned or set. And if it's that level, everything gets sent to the grave. If it isn't, it gets summoned to the field. So Chief is a 5, which would be a decent hit, but then you don't get the effect because it's only on tribute summon. Catapult Element isn't a 5, but it's a flip monster, so you don't want it to be special to the field, like face up anyway. Sasuke Samurai, you would rather like save until your opponent has something set, and then Spirit Reaper is a fine summon of it. Yomi Ship is a fine summon of it, but obviously you would rather have it set. So a lot of our stuff like Guard, Assailant, Spy, Wang Hu, Nudoria, like over half of our stuff is level 4. So I feel like that's why reasoning isn't that valuable. Plus, like I alluded to with Mirage Nightmare as well, you're going to be milling a lot of stuff, and milling away like your Necro Valleys or your Raigeki Breaks or Ring of Destructions even, like it's going to be pretty devastating. So that's why that's also in my side deck. So these are basically just here if I want to speed up my deck for games 2 and 3. Another Rite of Spirit, and then we have Fear Trap Dash Shoot in the side. The reason this is here is basically like I figured I don't know if I'm gonna be winning the rock paper scissors, so I'm just gonna have it here if and I can side into it if I know I'm gonna be playing first or going first. Sorry, I can then side into it and then have the maximum amount of chances of actually getting it right away. So this is basically just here, like if we go first, we have then Trap Dash Shoot, a 3 and 3 Royal Tribute, so there's a good chance to actually snipe some good monsters out of Jeex's hand. But Jesus, that was a mouthful, and I think that's my like longest deck breakdown thus far. I just looked at the set breakdown. I apologize. There was a lot more to talk about this time, so that's why the rundowns ran a bit longer. And this overall, like I feel like this might be a pretty long episode because I feel like the games are gonna be so drawn out and so stally, but maybe stuff like Mirage and Reasoning will make them faster than I anticipate them to be. But I definitely expect these to be very control focused and very like slow and mythological. But sorry for starting on my words today, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. So I will see you all in the dueling zone in a bit. Ladies and lads, welcome back once again to the historical learning journey, and this time we're diving into Pharaonic Guardian. So diving into archetypes finally. Jeex, how you feel about today's episode?
I'm about to gatekeep you from my graves or something.
God damn it. When are we getting gatekeepers? The support,
that, right?
You know,
it's Gate Guardian.
No, Gate Guardian. Sorry, but when are we getting the support? You know, that came out what, like a month ago or something.
I think it's out already.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, true. I for some reason thought that was like OCG, but I guess it is out in West right now, huh?
I think I saw it. At least I can check that just to be safe. You know?
Fair. But yeah, as for this series, I think we'll have to wait a little bit. You know, just a little bit.
Couple of sets, maybe. We'll see that next decade.
Yeah. But anyways, let's get started with today. We were sort of like pondering between you and me and like whether or not these games would be really long or somewhat short, because Ring of Destruction is a pretty good card. But I still do lean towards we are probably gonna be here for a while, so strap on.
Oh no!
But yeah,
another 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, if we're done by in 2 hours, then I consider that a success.
Hell yeah!
But let's get into it. So best of luck.
Rock.
Oh. Oh. who will budge first? Oh, he's thinking about it, huh?
No. I already clicked.
Oh, Duel board, do this to us.
Oh no!
we were chatting away for like an hour and a half before this, and then we were like, oh, yeah, I guess we should finally start. I swear if a dueling book goes down on us now, I'm gonna be pissed.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
oh
Never back down.
never. And
No.
I did it. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
I've
But yeah.
been betrayed.
I think here I will elect to go first, and oh, you seem to be on 40 cards, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's what
I was talking about that earlier. Like I had like 3 versions of the deck, right? And I decided that I'm gonna cut it down to 40 simply because consistency, you know.
Yeah, that does make sense, and I will say my hand is not looking the greatest. I think we'll just do a humble set 3 back row, and we'll pass it back to you.
Okay. I go standby, main, and I set 1 monster, and then I set 4 back.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of back row. Draw standby main. Man. Yeah, no,
Where's Mirage Your Nightmare?
probably somewhere deep in there, but I think we will attempt to normal the Sasuke Samurai. Is that okay?
In response
Yep.
to your summon after it's been successfully summoned, I activate Nightmare Wound.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this was okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, minus 500 in every single one of my standby phase. It's basically a instant speed mask of the accursed, was it?
Oh yeah, it's like a pseudo equip. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Seems...
Arguably, this is better because it actually leaves the field and
yeah,
it
that's
can't
true.
change its battle position. So you know.
That's true.
And you can play it as his response. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Then I don't think it does enough. Yeah, I think I'll just set another back row and I'll just pass it back.
Okay. I go standby main, and I will flip summon Gravekeeper Spy.
Seems good. Seems good.
Then I will then special summon from my deck a Gravekeeper with 1,500 or less attack.
Yep, that's what it does.
Summon Gravekeeper's Assailant. And
Seems
I
good.
will go into combat.
Yep.
But then I will not go into combat.
Oh.
And I will activate Necro Valley because I'm stupid.
Ooh, that's good. Okay. Standby main. Huh.
Man, imagine if Riot of Spirit didn't say in your graveyard. That would be kind of fucking sick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I definitely would. If you could take your opponent's stuff with it.
Especially because it's always going to be a mirror, right?
Yeah, I mean, chances are that I'm not playing Gravekeepers, you know?
Oh, true. It might just be Sasuke Samurai good stuff.
Yeah,
You
but...
need to take 500 damage, by the way.
Oh, yeah, true. That was...
Forgot. It's during my standby.
Yeah, it's yours standby. Yep. My bad.
No problem.
Yep. I could be Sasuke Samurai, good stuff, or, you know, I could also summon my Gravekeeper's Assailant.
Ah, yes, that is okay. I will accept this.
And I think we will go battle phase, and yeah, I think it makes the most sense. I'll swing into Assailant, I'll use the... Actually, wait, no, it's 1550, right? God damn it. Yeah, I'll just kill the spy. Yeah.
Okay, in response, I activate Book of Moon.
Yep. I'm
targeting my own Gravekeeper Spy.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, now the Gravekeeper Spy.
Question is, do I want to crash our assailants? You're gonna get another one.
Yep. We're doing it again. Penguin Soldier, Magician of Fate.
I can't escape it, man. I'm losing it anyway. Honestly, I will attempt to crash our assailants.
Okay, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah. So this one to the grave. And main 2, I will...
You can't change the battle position of Sasuke Samurai.
Yeah, that I know. I remember the Nightmare Wheel.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I'll just pass. And then
Okay,
your
I'll go
standby.
standby.
I'll take 500.
You take 500. I flip summon Gravekeeper Spy.
Seems
and I special
good.
summon from my deck another Gravekeeper card, and I will special summon Gravekeeper Spy in defense position. And then
Seems pretty good.
Another card. And then the question becomes, do I actually go face soon? No. No.
Burn too good, man.
I mean, if I get you down to like 6.5k, I think I can finish the game in one turn.
That's fair.
So it's kind of possible.
It definitely is. Oh, man. Yeah, I think we need to dig. I'll fire off Reckless Greed.
Okay.
So I will and draw 2. And then next to... Oh, let me turn on off auto draw.
Yep.
And... Yeah, we will set this card and we will... Well... Yeah, I'll just set that and that'll do it for me.
Okay.
Your standby
phase.
I'll take 500.
Yep.
Ouch.
And then I will activate Royal Tribute.
Yep. So here is my, because I'm assuming it always obviously wants to.
Yeah.
I
would believe. Yeah. Oh.
So here's what I'm working with. Yeah. The
I mean, you got that right of spirit.
I do got it for sure. But yeah, Yomi ship to the grave. Something tells me that you maybe don't have monsters in your hand.
Something tells me that I don't maybe have monsters in my hand.
Oh, that's funny. I see we are interested in a line, huh?
You want to use that Royal Tribute of yours?
Oh, yeah.
Just in case?
Unfortunately, I do not control Necro Valley, so even if I wanted to, I could not do it.
Kind of fucked up because I was supposed to use my face down card first and then do that, but like, you know.
But yeah.
I'll change Gravekeeper Spy to defense, just so it's a 2.5k wall now.
Yep.
And I will choose the pass.
Yes, seems pretty good. Passing on to you. So turn 1
in your
on
standby phase, I will activate Raigeki Break, and I will discard a card, and I will destroy this.
Oh, right. And it is my Cat of Ill Omen.
Yeah, you go away, cat.
There goes the grave. Good. It is. Like, it is a very good. Because like this set has a lot of get traps, like Raigeki Break, which
surprisingly a good card.
It is. It is. And man, this is so awkward. But yeah, turn 1 on Reckless Greed. I might have went for a Raigeki Break. I might have went for another Reckless Greed if that cat actually managed to do something. So
I figured like if it's gonna be either a Gravekeeper Spy, a cat, or even a guard, it's gonna be valuable to use.
Yeah.
So I just decided I'm gonna pop it here. Like originally the plan was to bounce it using my face down card, which may or may not be a Gravekeeper's guard, and then Royal Tribute, but I'm a stupid, dumb baby.
Yep, but you know, it could be a guard, but we wouldn't know.
We would not know.
I will set this card, which also we have no idea what it could be.
I have no idea. I don't think I wrote those down.
And man. Yeah, I think I will just have to pass on.
Break the Nightmare Wheel.
And 500 from the Nightmare Wheel. Man, that card is doing work, huh?
It is doing a lot of work. Let's see. Let's think. Okay, I will flip summon. This is not conditional, by the way. I have to do it.
All right. Are you sure you don't want to bounce your own stuff?
Target one monster your opponent controls.
Okay, I will take the Sasuke back to my hand.
That is not a conditional effect. Then I will change my Gravekeeper spies to attack.
24, 40. I'm living with 100? Question mark? That's 17, 34, 44.
Attack directly.
I'm literally living with 100 life if I take.
Are you sure about that?
I'm thinking like, what could your back row be? And Ring of Destruction is only on opponent's monsters, so it couldn't be that. 15.
And it's during your opponent's turn too.
Oh yeah, that's true as well.
They nerfed it. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'll take the 15.
Okay. Yep. Go again.
I will take the 17.
And go again.
I'm so like what could it be is what I'm wondering here. What's my out here anyway? I'm so curious because like I kind of want to let this shoot just to see like what you are cooking up with, but
it's not that deep. Don't worry. It's not that deep. You should know what this card is.
It might just be I'm just forgetting something, but man. You know what? I will Ring of Destruction the spy.
Oh, the one that's attacking right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we both lose 1.7k.
Yeah. And then Pause champ.
I activate this and special summon this.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I attack and you activate yours in response. Pokemon! Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll book that.
Okay. Then I go to main phase 2 and I set one card.
Yeah, so I for sure forgot. Now I don't draw yet. Stand by main. That's turn 2 on Reckless Greed, so now I get to start drawing again.
Yep.
But now the question is, how the hell do we get out of this situation, or do we
summon?
Because like
Gravekeeper's Assailant in defense when I attack next time.
Because
you crash your Sasuke Samurai into my Gravekeeper's Assailant, and then you summon your Gravekeeper's Assailant on your turn, on my turn, to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But the thing is, like, I can't really summon, because man, the samurai is so small that I just die when you run over him with spy, which sucks. Because like, if the set is a guard, I mean, yeah, if the set is a guard, I lose regardless.
Yep. And if it's Gravekeeper Spy, you will also probably lose.
Yeah, because the problem is, if I don't get rid of the assailant, I'm dead, because you can just flip my stuff into defense. So yeah, I mean, there's a very good chance that whatever the set is, I just lose to that. But I think I see a line that's outing me for now, and I just gotta go for it. So, normal Sasuke, and then we will go. Does it matter? I mean, I would rather have it in defense, so yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we will go battle, and we will pop the assailant.
Okay, assailant's gone.
Then we will go main 2 and yeah, we will go end phase and pass back to you.
Okay, if dueling book would work, there we go. And then I go standby, main. I will go into battle phase, and I attack your Sasuke Samurai.
Yeah, so I have this, and I have to set my own Sasuke, so I don't take the battle damage from it.
Yep, that's fine.
And then redeclare it dies.
Yep, and then we go into main phase 2.
Oh.
And we flip summon Caterpillar Omen, and we add to our hand a trap. And what trap are we gonna add? I have no idea. What do you think the trap might be?
All right, Dora.
What do you think the trap may be, Dora? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this trap is or what it does, but I will pass it over to you here. And you get to draw a card now. Let's go.
I do. And
I don't think you should activate Spirit of Rights here. If you
that's what I think is like, at least like, because if you got the pop it, I can at least use it in response, because if I just use it, then obviously you just pop the thingy I get and I'm most likely boned, so
should at least wait until you see what you draw before you make your decisions, because the fact that you still have cards.
Huh. Well, that is interesting, to say the least. Mm-hmm. Man. Does this do anything? Because I can... I don't think I got anything.
You post this if you don't think.
Yeah, I can. Cause like what I drew another Sasuke, and I figured like what I could do is activate this, get my other thing. I could crash the Sasuke and the cat, so you'd have less stuff to swing with. Sasuke would then be dead, but after that, obviously, you can just pop the
say assailant, yeah.
Yeah, and if it goes back to your turn, then it doesn't really matter, because you can just, because you have multiple swings, you can just wait for me to activate Rite of Spirit, and then, because I obviously have to do it, you can then just pop that. So you got it. Let's go game 2. that was a good game, though. That was a very good game.
Nightmare Will was a real MVP there.
Yeah, definitely. I might have forgotten that card existed. Whoops.
Whoops.
But yeah, let's go game 2. Yep. Let's try this. I'm a slightly bit worried after that game 1. I will not lie. That was quite convincing, but ooh.
This might be a really good game, by the way. Just as a heads up.
Okay. I like the sound of that. Huh. That's so weird. I'm thinking, do I go the consistent play or do I go the weird play? Yeah, I think I just do this. I will set and fire off Necro Valley.
Hell yeah. And then Royal Tribute.
And I will set another card, and then I will just pass.
This formation that you just did into Royal Tribute is actually the reason why I was like, man, Royal Tribute is such an asshole card.
Oh yeah,
you can play the game before I can. So if you get it off on turn 1, it's just like, what do I do?
Yeah, if you imagine you get Necro Valley, you get a set, and then just back row with Royal Tribute. You just set your other card as well, and then you just fire off Royal Tribute, then your opponent doesn't get to play the game.
They get -2, then you can interact with the graveyard anymore. I set 1 card.
Yep.
And then I set another one, and I set another one, and I set a... Do I set this one? I set that one.
Ooh,
and then I activate Mirage and Nightmare.
There it is. There's the first Mirage.
Hell yeah.
Seems pretty good.
We just...
So yeah.
What's going on? Why can't I not go to end phase?
Well, it's being a bit
turn.
wonky, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
So in my standby, you also draw 3, right?
Yeah, I draw 3. And now at the end, in my standby phase, I discard until I have no cards in hand. Until I discard the same number of cards that I drew.
Yeah. Okay, so you discard up to 3, or if you don't have that many, then.
But I discard them randomly. Ooh.
It's scary. Then. I think it's kind of greedy. The question is,
you say it's reckless.
Last game, I definitely had some reckless greed for sure, which did bite me in the ass.
I'm inclined to agree.
Now I'm thinking, cause like, what do I think your set is?
Cause my face down monster.
Yeah, back row obviously it's like it could be anything, but your set card, man. If it's
Mirage Nightmare is such a bullshit card.
It's pretty good. But this gets so awkward depending on stuff. I think I just go for the safe play. I will put you on that being a guard. I will flip summon my assailant.
Okay.
And I will swing into this.
I flip my guard face up
Okay.
and I bounce your assailant. Yeah.
That goes back to my hand. And
now Royal Tribute.
And now I will Royal Tribute myself. No.
High IQ gaming.
Yeah, it is. And we go main 2, and I will... It's actually interesting. Yeah, I'll just set and pass it back to you.
Okay, I draw 1 card, and in my standby phase, let's roll a die. 1 through 5 and so on. I'll shuffle once.
Sure.
1 through 5, and I'll go for my left.
Sure.
So 1, I will discard this one. And
Oh,
the second
jeez.
one, 1 through 4. That's a 6, so we roll again. 2, okay, that's kind of bad.
Ooh, yeah. Now we can just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Oh, 6, yeah, I'll discard
Yeah,
this one
it doesn't
then.
matter.
And that's
But,
the
okay.
last one. Yeah, that's 3. There we go.
Hitting the other copy of Mirage was pretty good.
Yeah, that was like perfect. If I hadn't done that, that would have come.
But yeah, the Book of Moon, if you had that, that would be kind of crazy.
It's pretty fucking good. Then I just set 2 cards and a pass. Then in your standby phase,
Yeah, we go again, baby.
Some motherfucking guy.
Draw 4, huh?
Draw 4.
Okay, so the deck out win condition is online.
It's right.
Okay. All right, so 4 back row is terrifying. I will, however, I will flip up my assailant. Is that okay?
That is acceptable.
Then I will attempt to normal summon King Tiger Wang Hu.
That is a questionable play, but I will allow it.
And how do I want to do this? I'll probably just yeah, I will attempt to go battle phase. I will go
Acceptable.
assailant in this, use the effect, flip it to attack.
In response, I would like to set my guard face down.
Seems pretty good.
Wait, actually, does that work? Oh wait,
wait.
No. Let's do it in that way. That it goes to attack.
Yeah,
and then after that,
then,
when during damage calculation, I set it with this.
Yeah. And then that's no longer valid. Yeah. Now the question is,
oh wait, if you redeclare, I think it works again.
You can target one. Oh yeah, because like if it's a face down, I mean obviously the flip effect will still go off, but.
Oh, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, I mean then it doesn't matter. I think I will actually do this in case it's a spy, and I want to see what this is. So, okay.
It's a cat.
It is.
And with the cat, I'm gonna add a card to my hand because it's when there's a Necro Valley on the thing.
Yeah.
I will add to my hand a Nightmare. Ooh, yeah, a Nightmare Wheel.
Seems pretty good.
And then it's dead.
And yeah, then don't wanna. I would lose what? 600 doesn't matter. You can just flip it up if you want to. Yeah, I will just go main 2. And I will just set another back row and pass it back. And then let's spin the wheel.
In the end phase, I'll pop your Gravekeeper's Assailant using Ring of Destruction. So you take 2,000 damage.
Both of us take 2k. And the assailant is gone.
Okay, and I will start my turn. I draw one card, and I'm considering doing something extremely stupid here.
Oh yeah, before the nightmare.
I activate Reckless Greed, and I draw 2 cards.
Oh shit! Yep. Yeah. So
and now I'll shuffle once, and we'll discard 4. I have 9 cards in hand.
That's pretty good.
That's not really effective. Fuck, how does this even work? Let me just open up a random number. No, that doesn't work either.
Wait, you have 9. Did you have
9 cards in hand?
Oh, okay. It doesn't even show more than 8 to me, because to me it looks like you have 9. Yeah, you can just go random.
Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. I can't do math.
Oh wait, do you have 8?
I have 8. I'm bad.
Okay, I mean, it's still whatever. You can just use the random number generator. It doesn't matter. And actually, wait. We can just do. You can just shuffle your hand, and I can just call random 4 cards if that's fine. So let's just go this one. Ooh, okay.
Shuffle again?
Yeah, let's go this one.
Oh.
Okay. That's a pretty good hit. You want to shuffle again, or?
I'll shuffle again, yeah.
Let's go this far one.
Okay, that's fine. One more.
And let's go for the middle one.
That's the best one.
Oh, well, god damn it.
Okay, we're in standby phase, by the way.
Yes.
Go main phase. I normal summon Assailant.
Yep.
Yeah, I activate Terraforming.
Yep. That's going to be a big Assailant.
Necro Valley. Activate Necro Valley.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, never mind. It's less. Gotcha. Never mind. All good. And it would be bigger.
Yeah, that's why I summoned him.
Yeah, and then it's, I think, 800 here, right? Yeah. Oh, that kind of sucks.
It's kind of rough.
This feels so bad. No, I will still actually. I will elect a Book of Moon your assailant.
Okay. I set my assailant, and then I go and main phase 2, and I set 1 card, and I pass the turn.
All right, and you know what time it is,
Draw
baby.
3, baby. Fucking love this mechanic. It's like I'm playing Flesh and Blood.
God damn it. Okay, so.
Dude, I haven't drawn a single Rite of Spirit, by the way.
Oh, that's pretty crazy,
Yeah,
actually.
That's weird.
Yeah, what we will do here is we will tribute off this Wang Hu for a Gravekeeper's Chief.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That is acceptable.
I'd like to activate the effect to special summon Assailant from my grave.
Okay.
And now there's the issue of the guard. If you have a book, no, I still think this is correct. We will go battle.
You go into battle phase. I activate this on Gravekeeper's Chief.
Yeah, gotcha. I can actually wait. Now when I have more, I'll just do this to mark that he's the one getting wheeled. And does this change anything actually?
The thing that it actually changes for me is that you'll have to trade your assailant if you want to.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you can't do that. Because when you declare an attack, there are no face-up cards on the field yet.
Yeah, the assailant can't flip anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Poking into
can't
this.
Even trade yet.
Yeah, poking into this assailant doesn't do anything. Guard will bounce. At this point, probably assailant. Yeah, I don't.
The important thing here is that I'm gonna kill Chief next turn.
Yeah, fair. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, the assailant will swing into Chief. You can bounce the assailant, then. Okay, gotcha. I think I will actually just go to main tier question mark. Does that do anything? Because I have one thing that I'm thinking about, but I don't think it does anything. Yeah, no, I think I'll just go main tier, set another, and elect to pass. Yeah.
Yep. I take turn.
And then
did I get the turn? I did.
Yeah, and yeah, reckless you're gonna draw, but
I discard 3 cards.
Oh, before your senpai, because you still get the draw phase, I would actually like to do this.
This was the actual thing that I was like, damn, this is a really good tech.
Yeah, because
you get to check, and I'll discard to 0.
Yeah, so I will throw one of those into your deck, and then the rest goes to grave. I think I would rather send the assailant to the deck.
I think the assailant is the correct choice because it's more of a bricky card and doesn't just like sit and do things.
Yeah, let me real quickly see here. Yeah, I will send the assailant back to the deck.
Okay. Just normal summon it and move it to the top.
Obviously, right is a thing that can now get the spy back, but I still think it's fine.
I mean, right doesn't really do anything for it. So
yeah, right now it's true.
Goodbye, reckless.
Also,
and then you take 500.
Yeah, I was just about to say I forgot to do that, but yeah, we did that in the draw phase anyway. So, and this is turn 1 reckless. I can just do it like that. So.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And then I
The back row terrifies me.
Yeah, it's kind of horrifying right now. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna flip, summon.
Yep.
Gravekeeper's guard.
Yep.
Targeting your assailant.
Yes, so assailant goes back to my hand.
Okay, then I flip, summon. Assailant.
Yep.
Then I attack your Gravekeeper's chief, changing him to defense position.
Yeah, he goes defense, so I'll just skip that step, and he's smaller after that, so I'll just throw him in the grave.
Okay, and then I go to main phase 2 and I activate Royal Tribute.
You don't want to swing with guard?
Oh, I did? I'll swing with guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So 1500 from that.
I thought I did that already.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. And this goes to the grave.
And then it's your turn.
Yeah.
You want to see my hand too?
Oh, jeez. That's a pretty gas hand. Oh, yeah. Nightmare Wheel is gone.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is.
And I draw 4.
Yep. And one more turn of Reckless. Oh, this is a horrible hand. This hurts.
You got one card in hand.
Yeah,
so
this hurts really bad. I will fire off my own Reckless Greed. And I will... okay, that helps.
It's gonna be Assailant. Oh, no. Alright, a Spirit.
How do I want to do this?
Oh, I fucked. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good. It doesn't matter. I think. Yeah, I think this is what we'll do. We'll just normal Assailant.
Yeah.
And go battle phase. No effect. I'll just swing in the guard, and you take 500. And
acceptable.
Then we go main 2, and I will. Oh yeah, this doesn't need to be here. I will just pass it back to you.
I go start, and I discard 4.
Doria, Assailant, Cats.
There we go.
And right, gotcha.
I'll change this guy to defense.
Right, and now we're playing the Great Yu-Gi-Oh! So, and now you're off Reckless. This is my turn on Reckless.
There you go.
My turn 1 on Reckless Greed. Standby main. I will elect to set my assailant to defense.
No.
I should actually swung and put your guy into attack. Then I will.
Oh yeah, and then not redeclare. Yeah, that would
yeah.
Good.
I'll just set a monster face down, and I will go.
Oh, I just realized.
Enter.
Nightmare Wheel says monster, not face up monster.
Oh, that's actually
cool.
Even better. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we discard 4.
Yep.
Let's throw the dice.
Our favorite pastime. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big hit.
Ooh.
Oh, that's rough.
Ooh.
A different tone on that one for sure.
Let me roll again, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been absolutely massive. Holy shit.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know what your other card is in hand, but I don't think there's a better card that you could have had in that position. Holy shit.
It's really bad. That's my 1-off.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks a lot.
The highs and the lows and Mirage of Nightmare.
I'm gonna change this to attack, and then I'm gonna just fuck you.
Oh,
change this to attack and kill this both. Yeah.
Yep, and they go to the grave.
And then I go end phase, and then you go draw phase, and then in your draw phase, I activate this on that.
Okay. Does it flip? Oh yeah, it's just sure. And
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, gotcha.
Flip now.
Main. Oh yeah,
and I draw 4.
Yeah, you get your Mirage and T2 on Reckless.
Okay, buddy.
I don't like the sound of that. And next turn I get to start drawing again.
So you know how there's a lot of spot removal in this format?
Yeah,
In
I'm
the
assuming
form of
it's all in
Gravekeeper?
your hand.
Yeah, all 4 cards that are left in my deck that have spot removal are in my hand now.
Oh, well,
And
that's
that's
lovely.
fucking worthless.
That's lovely. Okay, so
Come
I
on.
cannot flip this since it's prevented from changing battle positions.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate. We will go end phase and let's
Okay, I
flip
go
some die.
standby. Can I just like discard three of these? Oh, come on.
Oh, there's a
Come on.
monster.
Okay, that's still got that one. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay. Oh, wow, it's Raigeki
Oh, it's
break.
a
Can't believe-
Raigeki, huh? I wonder.
Oh, it's a Raigeki.
Oh, would you look at that?
Okay, one more. Oh, well, that's 3, so it doesn't count. Well, no. Guess what?
Ain't no way, bro. You just discarded 3 Raigeki in a row.
And you take 5 damage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The standby.
Yeah.
And I gotta die to this burn damage, and I finally get to draw. Oh shit!
No, you're not gonna die to this burn damage. I have 5 cards in deck.
Does this make any sense? Because it's like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever to summon an attack. Because like you're just gonna lose the deck out. So yeah, you know what? I think I'll just set a monster and oh yeah, let's go game 3. That's the highs and lows of Mirage of Nightmare, baby.
Hell yeah!
Let's go game 3. Yeah, and let's go game 3. I'm very happy that we got a game 3.
I'm going first. Are you ready?
Why would you do that?
Fuck.
No Royal Tribute?
No.
Oh, thank the lords. Oh, that feels so bad. That actually feels so bad.
I can't believe I just drew like... I don't think this hand is like statistically possible.
If it makes you feel any better, my hand is also very bad. I will set 3 back row and pass.
Hell yeah. I will go to main phase 1 and I will flip summon Gravekeeper Spy and I will view my deck and I will special summon from my deck a Gravekeeper monster and I will summon Gravekeeper Spy in defense position. Then I shuffle my deck and I swing phase with 1.2k.
I am not gonna think at all. We will both take 1.2k.
Hell yeah, by killing this thing.
Yes.
Okay, and I go main phase 2 and I set 2 cards and I pass my turn over to you.
Scary. Oh, bro. Why, man?
Let's go.
I'll set a back row and pass. I even up my
Stand
monster
by, man.
count like crazy in deciding.
Well, I will
awful.
normal summon Gravekeeper's Assailant, and
Yep.
I will change my flip face down monster into a face up, and I will attack you for 1.2k.
You don't want to flip your spy?
No.
Okay. Just making
No.
sure, you know. Yeah, I will take
And
1.2.
another 1.5k. Yeah.
I will take 15. This is gonna be a fast game, folks.
It's the good old.
Oh,
Turn
thank
that-
God. Okay. I will normal summon Gravekeeper's card.
I will not. I will decline that.
Okay.
I will say fuck you. Yeah.
And it's gone. I take 1,000. And you
Yeah.
take 1,000.
Is that
Am
game?
I was just about to say, am I just dead? There's a very good chance that I just die here.
What's that?
Go for it, bro.
Go for broke. Okay, I'll change my Gravekeeper Spy to attack, and I will attack you for 1.2k.
Oh, yeah. I will take it.
I will attack you for 1.2k,
I will take it.
and I will attack you for 1.25k.
I luckily have the Book of Moon for that.
Okay, we go defense, and oh wait, we go face down, and then I go main phase 2, and I set 2 cards, and I pass it over to you. We're still not overextending, by the way. We're still playing our set cards properly. We're still playing around possible spot removal and prevention, and you know, we're not playing around to Royal Tribute though, so that's a problem. So
Yeah. Nope, you got it. I can do this for you too, but it doesn't matter. So,
I mean, that's kind of scary.
look at this shit.
That's so unlucky.
These were my only monster in my open house. I think I have 32 monsters after my last sighting. But
Oh no! Because I get the lava golem. Yeah.
yeah, because I do have this. I can book the lava golem, but it's still too much because any one swing just kills me.
I have this. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I like. Oh yeah, I finally got my chief metamorphosis, but nothing else but the chief. It was like the guard needle sealing was the only out I had. What else would I have drawn? Oh my god, the amount of these needle sealings. There is no fucking way! First 12 cards in my 60 card deck, all 3 copies of needle sealing.
Hell yeah.
That is actually unreal.
That's disgustingly unlucky. So I drew 4 monsters in my starting hand, and I have 12 monsters in my deck or something.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's pretty good. What else did I
have? That was like really unlucky, I thought. But then when I saw this, it kind of turned out to be the opposite.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, what's with our game 3 is always like going like this?
I feel like it's because we're making so many adjustments in game 3 based off of the first 2 games that it like swings in one direction or the other.
That's fair. Like what did I even side? I know I sided out of my trap dust shoes because I figured like, yeah, you have Mirage, but still, can I?
You want to know what I sided out of?
Mirage of Nightmare.
Mirage of Nightmare.
You want to hear a fun thing about my deck?
Yeah.
It has 0 Mirage of Nightmares, even though I'm playing 60 cards. I have 3 in the side. I literally have like, I'm thinking, okay, if I hit the draws, then it's gonna be fine. But with my luck, my ass is not keeping the 1 card that I need in those situations, and I figured I'm running 2 right, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna throw it inside. If it impresses me, like, my idea literally was like, okay, if you playing it does something that impresses me, then I'll side into it. Game 1 we didn't see it, and I was like, okay, sure. I did a few dumb plays. I can just fix it up. Game 2, I feel like, apart from the one time where if it kept the chief, it would have been like obviously amazing. But apart from that, it was like really felt like it really hurt, and because I have like so much stall, especially since I sided into 2 lava golems. I figured I can just stall it out, and then that's why I didn't put it in for game 3 either.
I was thinking I could push for game harder with Rite of Spirits, but the fact that I didn't draw a single one of them until like my last 2 hands is kind of painful. Yeah. And then I didn't manage to keep one either, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Then there's the part where I drew all of my spot removal back to back. Like 3 Raigeki breaks in 4 cards.
That is unreal.
Yeah, it's not realistic, is it?
What did you mean, by the way, this game when you said like had this like a statistical anomaly? Were you just like because you draw like 4 out of 12
I drew
monsters?
so many monsters. Yeah, I drew so many monsters. Like that's literally a statistical anomaly. What the fuck? And then I drew all my Gravekeeper spies basically, or I summoned this one. But
gotcha. But I mean, you got it, and you definitely were right when you said like I don't think these matches are actually gonna be that long. We're like a bit over 20 minutes from the first 2, and then you obviously, as is tradition, game 3 is something else entirely, and this time that meant it was over in 4 minutes.
4-minute game. That's insane, dude.
That is a 4-minute game in this format is kind of unreal.
Like we played all our games in less than an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Because 22, 24, and now 4 minutes.
Yeah, it literally like took us under an hour. That's insane, actually.
And yeah, I was thinking originally when I was building this deck that this would either be really grindy, and that's why a 60-card deck could work with Mirage or Nightmare, because the game is grindy, so you're gonna filter out a lot of bad cards maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, if you're like keeping your hand at more than 4 cards.
I was like,
I think what.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I think what I did wrong was that I overextended too many times. I think you're supposed to leave like 2 or 3 cards in hand, so you get the 1 extra draw, and then you discard it, and then you hope that it's not the card you do if it's important.
Yeah.
Basically, instead of using it as engine, you use it, or engine for pure value, use it for an engine to filter out your hand a bit.
Yeah, that's like even the. It's already a really like feast or famine card, and then you add on top the fact that reckless greeding is in here, and it can like either really make it insane or just completely screw you over, which is
so the optimal turn for Mirage or Nightmare is that in your draw step, you draw a card, and then you flip over 3 reckless greed.
Yeah,
and then you discard 4 cards.
I will. Yeah, I will say like for sure like playing triple reckless greed in a 60-card deck is, I don't know, it was very greedy, and it definitely
I think
bites me in the
if
ass.
you're gonna play a greedy draw card, you should probably play Mirage or Nightmare over reckless greed.
Yeah, that's in hindsight like definitely true.
Yeah,
but this
sometimes
is still a very fun game.
Yeah, I think this set was really fun overall. Like, it didn't turn out to be anywhere near as annoying as I was expecting to be.
Yeah,
like,
no.
After I realized that Assailant, like on my side especially when I was building the deck, when I realized Assailant didn't require me to have what's it called, Necro Valley on the field, that kind of opened up the whole deck for me, because I was kind of stuck with, but I need 3 Necro Valley and 3 Terraforming or my cards don't work.
Yeah.
But because I realized that we're both going to be playing Necro Valley, it just hit me like, oh, I can actually cut this out. Like, the only reason why I even realized that was because I was on stream, and somebody pointed out
Twitch.tv/Jeex, by the way, live every Sunday.
Twitch.tv/Jeex, yeah. no advertising, but yeah, like I had somebody point out, if you're gonna play multiple copies of Field or multiple Terraforming, you could probably just play 1 copy of Necro Valley, right? I was like, yeah, but like I need Necro Valley for my cards to work. Like, all of my good cards, like Assailant requires it, and even Gravekeeper's Cheapers. Wait, no, Gravekeeper's doesn't even have any interaction. Like, literally had that.
It just says like your grave isn't effective with it.
And then I read Assailant, and I was like, well, this card requires, so I gotta play it. And then I reread it twice, and I was like, wait, this is. Wait, I just had an idea. And then I just went off from there, and I milled out. I removed like 4 cards from the deck, and I just slotted in Nightmare Wheel. Because like I have space for this now, I'm gonna put 2 of these in. I'm gonna put in 2 Ill Omens, and bam, that's the deck. That's basically the exact results what I have here. And I also had a moment where I was thinking about, oh, Royal Tribute needs it, so maybe I want to have it. But then I realized, oh, I can just play less Royal Tributes.
Yeah.
Like, Royal Tribute is a really swingy card. Like, it's not a Feast or Famine card the same with the Mirage of Nightmare is, but it's a kind of card where if you get it turn 1, you probably won. You probably win right there and then. If you get a turn 4, well, it's kind of worthless, right?
Yeah, and like with all the stuff like Spy and stuff, we're like very unlikely to actually just like leave monsters in hand unless you can just if you literally can't set anymore. Yeah. But otherwise you're probably just setting 1 every turn, and it's very unlikely for a Royal Tribute to actually be good later on. I will say, it was very big. I did not realize that Needle Sealing was face-up monsters. I was literally like, when there are 4 more monsters, I figured like, I literally even now I read like, it's like when there are 4 more face-up monsters in the field. No, okay, nice. Okay, destroy all face-up monsters. Fuck. Because that's like obviously why I went for the just guard, because I had to have the 4th copy. Yeah.
I did not play around this card at all. I did not even remember this card is in the set.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I went 4 cards on the field. Like, if I knew this card was in the set, I would not have set that last Gravekeeper Spy that I did.
Okay, because I figured because you set them anyway, I was like, you're obviously just playing around this, so.
Like, when I read it, I was like, wait, 4 oh, wait, no, it's face up. Woo! I'm safe! Like, that made me sweat a bit when I saw it.
Gotcha.
Gravekeeper Spy would then let me get my last assailant on the field anyhow, and that would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But also, another thing, when I drew that 4-monster hand, I was really scared of Royal Tribute until I realized I can pop Necro Valley.
Yeah, because Royal Tribute says... Wait, how did it work? Because let's like... If... Wasn't it when? Because if like... let's say like I fire off Royal
No, I mean like when you play Necro Valley, I'll pop Necro
Valley
in
response to
Necro
that.
Valley.
I was about to say
like...
priority
shifts.
Yeah. Because I was about to say like you can't do it in response to Royal Tribute, right?
Nope. Can't do it in response to Royal Tribute. Have to do it on Necro Valley, and I would have done it on Necro Valley if you played Necro Valley on that turn.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I lose Royal Tribute, so I'm just gonna play around the fact that you can't get Royal Tribute. And if you do get Royal Tribute, then at least you're at like 1 card in hand.
Yeah.
With 2 cards on the field, maybe.
And like even obviously the previous game it didn't matter, but previous game it also kind of mattered. The needle sealing says when, because like I had a moment where I could have destroyed or like wiped the field when you had, I think it was like it was the assailant and guard, and I had the wheeled chief, and then I think my other was assailant. But the problem there is like, because I figured, okay, I swing into guard, I just take a little bit of damage, then I can use the needle sealing. But because it's when if guard targets something, and then I declare the needle sealing in response to that, guard bounces something. When needle sealing resolves, it's only says 3, so it misses timing and doesn't work. So.
No. It's the activation requirement is when, yes, but if the cards on the field becomes less than 4, it still goes up.
Oh, so it does work, huh?
Yeah. It doesn't it checks the board state when you want to activate it.
Oh,
rather than when you would have it.
Oh, okay. Then I misunderstood it. Okay, so then it would have worked, but yeah, obviously, and didn't end up mattering. But yeah, that's good to know, because I figured it would just completely miss timing.
There's like different kind of thing. For example, let's say you special summon a monster with a when special summon effect during a chain, in the middle of the chain.
Yeah.
You will miss the timing on the when effect activating.
Yeah, okay.
And that's when the whiffed timing happens. For example, let's say you summon a Stratos with a solid soldier's effect mid chain, and
very specific.
Yeah, this is very specific. This has never happened to me.
Yeah, I'm sure
I've never had Yeah,
I mean, you don't even play heroes.
Yeah, I'm not even a hero player, by the way. Don't look at the hero portrait that I have on by default, by the way, which just happened to be a hero portrait, by the way. But if you summon Stratos before you finish like activating, for example, Wonder Driver's effect, the Wonder Driver effect will basically make it so that you negated your own Stratos effect. So you have to activate Solid Soldier's effect first in a chain, so that it resolves last in the chain. So Stratos is the first thing that would activate after the chain is resolved.
Bro, missing the timing has always been one of those things which is like, it's so weird. Definitely goes over my head.
The best way to fix this is simply make a stack. Just have a stack. Come on, Konami. Yeah. Just screw the chain. Just make it have a stack. That would be so cool.
We started off trying to be Magic the Gathering. We can go back to try to be Magic the Gathering once more.
I mean, at this point, like, I don't know where they're gonna go with Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Like, there's so many things in Yu-Gi-Oh that I fucked up. Like, for example, if they're gonna make a Master Rule, I think we're at 5 now. Master Rule 6, I don't know what they would change.
Yeah, and like, I don't think adding more card types makes sense.
I don't think they think that's a good idea either. That's why.
They did release the new, not archetype, but like actually monster type in the OCG, Illusionist.
Oh, yeah.
Which basically just like, I guess, a spellcaster too.
But that's another one of those, like, why would you do this?
Yeah,
like, what does this add to the game?
Yeah.
Why are there 2 types of dragons? Why are there 2 types of beasts and beast warriors? Why are there 2 types of fire things, basically?
It's funny because like almost everything apart from like tanky or stuff like it, it's always like it's Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast. Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast. It's like the whole.
Like you could just have it be Beast.
Yeah, everything could be, and it would be easier. But yeah,
Or you could have it be non-human, non-warrior, non-spellcaster. You could just like, I know this goes into the whole thing about being magic again, but like if we could have just at some point specified that warriors, spellcasters, and fairies are human, like humanoids, and then those effects that say that they affect humanoid monsters affect those monsters only, or something. That could streamline card creation or the card development process of it, but you know. But then we would have to rewrite everything.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like it is definitely a little bit late for that. But yeah, what do you think of Reaper of the Nightmare, by the way? Did you even consider running it?
Oh yeah, I had him in the 60 card deck, and I was I had this insane fucking idea where you cascade using reasoning into Gravekeeper's Chief. You don't play any other monsters in your deck other than Gravekeeper's Chief. And then you play Reasoning, and then you have a 15 card side deck specifically to side out of the Cascade. And you cheese game 1 to get into Reaper of Nightmare, and then you equip Buster Rancher on Reaper of Nightmare. Then I reread what Reaper of Nightmare says. And if it gets targeted.
Yeah, I was just about to say, but you can't equip it with anything.
And that's when I went like... that would be so cool.
That definitely would be sick. I will say that. But yeah, like I definitely think Nightmare Will is definitely like, because you know every episode has to be like the not obvious, but like a very good card that I overlooked. Like it definitely was that this time.
I think Needle Sealing was that for me in this one. Like I didn't even consider playing any kind of like the board wipe that I was thinking of was Dark Dust Spirit, because I figured, oh, that's gonna be more like consistently available, because I'll have Gravekeeper Spies set face down, so I can flip them face up and get more fodder, and then I can just sack them for Dark Dust Spirit directly, and then clear your board with that.
Yeah,
but I didn't even side into them because I felt like we're not playing enough face-up monsters.
Yeah, I did side it. I literally just had one on the side, and the game 2 was like the wake-up call. Like, okay, let me just. I think I sided it into it this game because of that. So,
arguably, Needle Sealing is probably even better than Dark Dust Spirit, simply because of the fact that you have more control over things in a way.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's like, I don't know, like 4 feels like a lot, but in a set like this, it ends up being not that bad. Like if this wasn't like, if this destroyed all monsters and not all face-up monsters, I feel like it would be like really damn good, especially in this set, because like stuff with Spy helps you swarm in Gravekeeper's Chief. We even have like a poor man's Monster Reborn in Vital Spirit and stuff like that. They're definitely, and like stuff is really big, so it's hard to get rid of as well. So
yeah, that's why I think Needle Sealing will be insanely powerful if it was just destroy all monsters. Even with this effect that it currently has, I feel like I missed out on a card that could have been really, really scary.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this game could have been lost if you even activate it. I feel like this game could have been lost if you got a single Gravekeeper Spy, and then like popped my field, set the Gravekeeper Spy, and then passed.
Yeah,
that would have been game basically. Except I had Gravekeeper's Assailant set face down too. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I figured, like, because it definitely like seemed like you were playing around Needle Sealing. Oh yeah.
The thing that I was actually playing around was getting completely fucked over by you playing creatures that I can't swing over, or by maybe, let's say, Raigeki Break, that you'd have to blindly Raigeki Break a card that I have face up and be like, I don't know what your face downs are, but I'm gonna just bet that you don't have another one for this.
Yeah.
And then I would have another one for it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
also,
sense.
I did not play a single Sasuke Samurai in my main deck because I felt like they're bricky.
I think I played. Yeah, I did play. Originally, I played 3. Then I found 2 of them in like I think my first like 7 cards. I sided out of 1, and then here because I got rid of the what's this trap dash shoots, since I figured I would be going second, and I figured like it's not good enough for me to play if I'm like not going first. I just sided back into 1. I will say like my side deck was really bad. Like I definitely could have like I feel like done a much better job at that, because like here it's like my siding for game 3 really felt like I'm just putting stuff in because I have nothing better, and that's it. And that feels really bad when siding.
I basically just put in cards that added more consistency into the side deck, and I put in a card that would specifically deal with like Mirage of Nightmare or Reasoning, thinking that, oh, it's for every instance of a monster that you get dealt 300 damage. But
Yeah.
no, it's for when you send a monster to the graveyard, which completely changes my outlook on that card. And I went like, oh, well, I guess I'll take this third Nightmare Will and put it into the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a big deal. Like, honestly, Nightmare Will being an instant speed pacifism that deals damage to you, broken.
Yeah, it was it was definitely a very good card, and I definitely overlooked it when I went through the set. Like I think I went through the set like at least 3 times. So I guess I just was looking for cards that either said Gravekeeper or cards that I had seen before, I guess. So
this isn't the anime. Like this is the anime and the manga, and this is like one of the most brutal cards ever. In the manga, Izumai plays against Merrick, I think. And Merrick uses Nightmare Wheel on one of her Amazones, and it's just like fucking grinding it up.
Jesus.
Disgusting, dude. And the same, he also uses Visor Des in that. And Visor Des is a, you know those things where you like have screws and you put that screw thing on your head and then you tighten those screws? Yeah, it's one of those. Like, this whole set had like a cycle of torture devices. And that set of like torture devices are all like relatively playable, with Nightmare Wheel being the best. There was one card in there, the Visor Des, it bounces all of your all set cards on the field, I think.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check that real quick. I think it's Visor Des. No, it's not this card. It's some other card. What the fuck? This is from 2010.
That's relatively new, huh?
Well, yeah, relatively new. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is relatively new. Yeah.
We are old. Let's just face the fact.
I'm gonna fucking die soon, dude. I can't believe it. No.
Okay, not that old, not that old.
Oh yeah, Visor Shock. It's not Visor Shock.
Okay.
If this card is summoned, return all set cards on the field of the hand. Now there's a one big glaring issue with this card.
Is it a 2 tribute monster?
It's one tribute monster with 800 attack.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still like very bad, but yeah.
Like if it was a 1.8k beater that maybe gained power from something, maybe playing it at 1 would be decent.
Yeah. But like, I mean, I don't know. I'm very biased because like one of my favorite things about Yu-Gi-Oh is archetypes. I really very much enjoy tribal stuff and playing tribal stuff in Magic, so archetypes are like one of the main draws for me in Yu-Gi-Oh overall. And like this definitely like I feel like this was like the first actual archetype, and like stuff like Blue Eyes having Lord of D and Flute of Summoning Dragon isn't really enough yet to qualify it as an archetype. Obviously those were retconned into archetypes.
Well, those are dragon support cards.
Yeah.
Like even the new Lord of D, a King of D or something, whatever the fuck it is. I think that's still like dragon support, right? This summons a dragon with 3,000 attack or 2,500 defense, I think. The new Flute of Summoning Dragon.
Yeah, I guess it is like more generic. I can't help but imagine it was like thought of like back then as like, hey, this is an easier way to get specifically the Blue Eyes, but at the end of the day, you're right, like it is still like generic dragon support. So this like this already, like obviously Gravekeepers get much more stuff along the line as well, but like this already in the context of just this one set like still felt like a pretty coherent archetype.
Yeah. And I'm kind of glad that they did go that route, because most of the card games outside of Vanguard don't tend to have this kind of style.
Yeah.
Like where they don't particularly care about having specific card names. And I think that's because of stuff like Mercadian Masks or whatever it's called in Magic. You know, the old set, the Mercenaries, and I don't remember what the other one was, but Mercenaries and Rebels, I think that's, I think that was.
Oh wait, why does that sound faintly familiar? I
was
think
a
I've at least
really
seen that
shitty
stuff.
set.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was a set where you basically either played rebels or you didn't play anything else, because rebels had the ability of like tutoring out bigger rebels, and that was it.
Okay.
And the mercenaries were the opposite, where they tutored smaller mercenaries, I think, and it was just objectively worse to play mercenaries. But yeah, that's like the closest thing to an archetype that I can think of. We'll take no, like archetype in the Yu-Gi-Oh sense, where you have to have a specific like card type and not a tribal thing.
Yeah. Cause
And
like
that's
yeah, that's like because like especially in the context of the time, like it feels kind of crazy that you had stuff like spy that gets you other members of the archetype that I think the 1500 or less attack covered literally everyone except for chief, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure there's only one card. I think it has 1.7k attack, maybe.
oh, okay, yeah.
But I think it was unplayable because it just died to Sailor.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's like that. Like you have stuff like this that fetches you stuff from the straight to the field from the deck. You have your archetypal Monster Reborn. You have Necro Valley as just generic boosting, as well as some like very nice, definitely very nice effects as well. Guard actually has a good effect. Like there's a lot of guard, and obviously Royal Tribute being a real blowout card. Like there's a lot of like good effects tied to these cards, and I definitely think like this is a good, like great first archetype to have, and like great foundation sort of to build upon further along.
And it doesn't feel like it's oppressive.
Yeah, it did.
Like it's really strong, but it's not that I spent one turn comboing into a unbreakable board that only this one archetype can do, because it's this one archetype and it's the only archetype that can play this specific archetypal card that says this specific archetypal thing that prevents you from playing the game.
Yeah.
Thank you, Towers. Fuck you, Towers.
Fucking Cleehorde Towers, man. And then like they started putting out more stuff like that. Awesome.
Yeah. Towers is a crime, and it's like the biggest crime they ever made.
It's definitely.
And everything became Towers. Like Ultimate Falcon is also Towers, effectively.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and the only out is just you draw 2 level 4s, you get 2 level 4s out, you make a Utopia the Lightning, and you swing on it, and it's dead. And that was the only out for the longest time.
Yeah.
For a big part. Like there were a couple of ways you could deal with it, but like that was the most consistent, and that's the most splashable.
Yeah.
So
because it just basically you just need the rank 4 engine.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
not too hard.
This, like the fact that we went from these to that is insane.
It's a pretty big step, but I mean, even these days, like legacy support stuff that they usually get, like, okay, what do we give them to make them better? Is okay. Do we go the Blue Eyes 2016 Worlds route, where it's like, hey, Pendulum is a thing, so let's literally just print stuff for Blue Eyes that is strictly there to counter the meta, or do we just give them floodgates or stuff like that?
I mean, technically, a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is a floodgate, right?
I mean, yeah, it's a floodgate against pendulums.
Yeah,
literally.
Just happens to be against pendulum.
And then we go to modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and we have floodgates that have reoccurring pops once per chain, and also does 7 million things, because you know Caster is fun.
Oh man.
Oh,
we're starting to sound like old men.
Yeah, this is definitely like 2 old men rambling. Like the stereotypical like old Yu-Gi-Oh players complain about modern Yu-Gi-Oh. It's still cool. It has its charms, and like it's still. I am glad that like we've come somewhere from normal summon Login being the most powerful play that you can do. Like,
Yeah.
I do think like that's definitely something, and it does feel like it. For me, it's much simpler, but it does still like feel fun when I get an uninterrupted combo and I summon number 86 Photon, whatever fuck it was called, the dragon, and punch my enemy for 10k damage, and that it does get like it does always bring a joy to me. So.
The serotonin kicks in.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, big number.
Like,
literally just like a monkey brain neuron activation. Ooh, I see big number. I punch.
I think it's kind of funny how
I feel like we haven't got that far away from just like a normal summon Lajin, and then you just sit on Lajin. Because the next comparison I would make to that is Dante. Make Dante mill 3s.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's basically the same thing. That's relatively recent again. That's like 8 years. Less than 8 years, isn't it? Well, PK
Yeah.
Fire is so new, dude.
Oh,
God
I mean, to me, because like initially I like Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, and then initially when I later on got back into it, that was the when it was like I think it was called like Legendary Hero Decks or something. It was like a triple set that had Phantom Knights, the Nordic cards. God bless their soul. And then what was the? Oh yeah, it just had then Heroes. I think was the third one.
Yeah, Destiny Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I like bought I think 2 of that, and then I just played some weird wonky Phantom Knights. And I do remember I can't remember the combo anymore, but there was something to do with like Dark Rebellion on Dark Requiem Xyz Dragons, and there was something like that where I can't remember. I remember I had some like really wonky combo with those cards that I thought was super cool, and that was what brought me joy back then. But
The PK has a bunch of shit that they can do, and if I remember correctly, they even had a route that can go into Ultimate Falcon with like similar setups that you were talking about, and it's mostly because of the fact that they can fetch rank up magic so easily.
Oh yeah,
and you can have rank up magics that like straight up just let you turbo into Ultimate Falcon from a dark XYZ monster, and because that's what you do, that's what you make the best. And I think Ultimate Falcon is 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10.
It is a rank 10, yeah.
Yeah, so you just have to make a I think there was a you make a rank 5 dark XYZ that you ranked up basically on another XYZ.
Yeah, it's just the Dark Rebellion into Dark Requiem. Yeah. I guess Requiem is rank 5.
And then you use the thing that doubles your rank from a dark XYZ monster, and then you make Ultimate Falcon. You see an Ultimate Falcon, I think. I'm not entirely sure anymore. It's been a while. It's been ages since I looked into this.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right. But that's cool. I'm like, there's definitely a part of me that's like excited as we like move more towards like not modern Yu-Gi-Oh, because I can assure you when we get to decks which actually have combo lines and stuff like that, my ass is toast, because like I'm not smart, so it's like if I need to read cards, if I need to think, then that's a problem. So
don't worry about it. You don't need to think. You just find a spreadsheet that tells you what to do, and then you go like, yep.
Bro,
that's how that works.
I can't. When I was looking into DD, and I was like, okay, what are good cards? I remember like asking from you, since you obviously know DD pretty well, and then I was like looking at something, and I was like, DD combo spreadsheet. I was like, what the hell is this? And it's like, okay, so this is what you need in your starting hand, and then this is what you end up with and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell is this, bro? Are we still playing children's card games, or?
Yeah, it's a lot of people tend to use spreadsheets and stuff nowadays, I think. Like, I've never gone that far with my research into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because usually when I just play the game, at some point I'm like, oh, I can do this. There's specific things, like, for example, I'm going to send you this thing. Please don't leak this thing.
Yeah, I won't.
But, like, this is a combo that you can do off of a...
a
Noble Knight. And I was looking at this one time, it was like, when a friend of mine sent me this, and he was like, hey, you can do this. And I had no idea. And I've played Noble Knights. I played these cards, the specific card that's in the middle of the screen there. I've played that card for like a decade, and I didn't ever think of this.
Okay, like, just for context, I'm not going to show this, but just for context, I'm just looking at, there's like 20 cards on my screen. They're like 3 different color fucking arrows going from one to another. I'm like, bro, what am I looking at here?
I spent a good while thinking of this, and I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, to me, I special a few times in a galaxy-ized deck. Then I make a Photon Dragon using number 62 using galaxy-ized Photon Dragon, and whatever the thingy is that when you detach it from Xyz, every Xyz gets attack based on their rank, and you summon a Galaxy Eyes, and that's it.
And then you
It's
go
like-
face.
Yes, and if it doesn't work, I lose. If it works, I win, and that's the end of the story.
That's fine. That works perfectly. That's acceptable. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, this was fun. I definitely like I do think like before when we were like prior to actually recording this episode when we were talking about it, we figured like this might be super miserable because like these games are just gonna be grindy and nothing will happen and blah blah blah. I actually like think this was like one of the more fun episodes to play. I think this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think this has been a really enjoyable set to play. I think I said that earlier too, but
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What do we have next? I actually don't even remember.
I think my memory stops working entirely when I think about Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. So I'm gonna double check.
Because
It's Magician's Force. It's Breaker. It's Breaker the Magical Warrior.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then we get
Breaker.
another archetype in Amazones.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely playing Amazonas. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, Amazonas Hot Springs, right?
Oh yeah, I'm playing the uncensored version. Fuck you.
Okay.
This video has been demonetized. Okay,
Oh, no.
age restricted, not demonetized.
No.
I don't think I've ever made a penny of YouTube. That almost wouldn't matter, but age restricted is a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean that would hurt a lot. So.
But yeah, now we're getting sidetracked. But hey, hopefully you enjoyed this episode as much as we had fun playing it, and hopefully Magician's Force will be as enjoyable. This was definitely a very pleasant surprise. And I've learned that I don't think 60 card deck is the way to go.
I think there's a specific format where 60 cards will be good, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to overlook that I turn up with some jank bullshit and you're like, yeah, dude, it was obviously, like, it was so obvious that we played these cards and 60 card deck, and I'm just sitting there like, you know what? Fuck you, man.
Oh.
But yeah, if you made it this far, impressive, since we've been rambling for quite a while. But if you did so, thank you, and we hope to see you next time. And goodbye.